Hello, I'm Daniela Saioni, veteran script supervisor coming to you from South Bank in London. And today I wanted to make a public service announcement for those of you working as freelance film crew, but especially for the script supervisors out there to stop panicking about work between gigs. This is the most common cause of worry among new script supervisors, and in the long run, it's both unproductive and unnecessary. Instead, today I'm going to talk about the ways you can be proactive about the next time you face a work shortage so that you can use your time off between shows enjoying yourself instead of worrying. But before we get into that, I want you to consider what happened during the Great Depression. Most jobs disappeared globally, but the film industry was booming. Hollywood saw a huge surge in profits. Why? Because when the world is in a bad way, people turn to entertainment for distraction, escape, and to generally uplift their mood. The demand for consuming films expands, and today this extends to television and streaming services, with the demand for content on a global level being bigger than ever. We are seeing record production levels everywhere, especially here in London. Our business is essentially recession-proof, with qualified script supervisors being one of the key positions in high demand. Now, despite that, all industries face cyclical fluctuations, even our own, so there will always be reasons the film industry slows down or even shuts down temporarily. Here in London, for example, the work slows down as they approach a fiscal new year, so March can slow down a bit as they renew in April, and I have heard multiple comments and worries expressed about that. In North America, we have had industry-wide union strikes that have affected work for as much as 7 months, or other pandemics like SARS, which slowed down the work for as much as 2 years in 2003 for some cities like Toronto, where I'm from. But there are many ways to work with and around these realities so that you can maintain your lifestyle during these hard times. Okay, number 1, have a side hustle or a few. As a lifelong freelancer, I've had multiple side hustles over the years, including temp gigs, a few online businesses, and my story editing practice. By the way, if you don't know, I do run one of the few training programs in the world for story editors, which you can enroll in if you have existing experience as a screenwriter or producer or film jury member or development executive. I'll post information on that in the description below if that's something you're interested in exploring. I know it's been a reliable and creative way for me to earn income between gigs on set over the years. Now, that specific thing might not be for you, but think about the skills you do have and business ideas with low overhead and low startup costs, and create a plan for yourself to have an alternative revenue stream in a pinch or even on an ongoing basis. But preferably have at least one of your side hustles not be in the film business in case there is an industry-wide shutdown. The most useful online businesses for this scenario are passive, which means that you can create businesses that you run in the background with maybe one virtual assistant even while you are working on set. Once I figured out how to do this for myself, I also created an online course and coaching program for creative entrepreneurs who want to start or grow online businesses called COFFEE BREAK MBA, which I'll also include a link to in the description below. Now, some people have Etsy shops or Shopify stores or run drop shipping businesses or do copywriting or translation work, among many, many other things. Number 2, remember that script supervision is a global profession. We are often one of the key positions that travels with a show, yes, but beyond that, depending on how flexible we are with languages and work visas, I always advise that my students think of ours as a global profession and go to where the work is, whether it's across the country or on another continent. When SARS hit Toronto, I sought out work in Europe because it was the easiest for me to work there, and others spread out to various Canadian cities around the country. To get some idea of how this can work out well, check out my video on this channel called Script Supervision Without Borders. And if you live in an area that is not a major hub of film production, you will need to amplify your side hustle efforts or consider moving to a place that is. Number 3, don't underestimate the power of daily and second unit calls. If you don't typically accept daily or second unit calls, consider doing some of these on your downtime, if only to expand your network. It was one daily call on second unit that led me to getting an interview for my biggest 6-figure contract to date on Shazam. Number 4, use your time off to upgrade your training. Instead of worrying every day, remember the work will come flooding back eventually, so why not level up in the meantime so that you can expand your skill set and remain competitive with your peers? Take a reputable script supervision or directing or editing or acting or screenwriting class. These can only up your game and keep you happy and creative in the meantime. Number 5, take care of your health. Using your time off to get in shape or take care of health concerns or otherwise relax and enjoy your life keeps you in a positive mindset and attracts more abundance your way so that you can have more career longevity and slay those job interviews when the work returns. You can do any and all of these things and more instead of panicking, because the reality is it is the onslaught of never-ending work that is a much bigger issue in our industry than the lack of work. My only regret looking back over my years is all that time I wasted worrying about working in between gigs. I hope that you can remind yourself of this fact before going into a downward panic spiral. Just breathe and enjoy your time off while it lasts. Then buckle up for the next onslaught of work, because it's coming. Have a great day and an abundant year ahead.